Hey guys, Sunstreaker Wozza here. Welcome back to another Thursday live stream where, yes, we're going to be talking about all the hot topics this week in Transformers Earth War. So thanks for joining me. So today, we're obviously going to go through this weekend's event, building up to the 4-star Fort Max event. Looking forward to that. And then after that, building up to the Brawn event. This guy's been asked for years, literally years. And Braun is finally coming to the game. That's not new news. We knew that for the last couple of weeks, but still exciting that in 6 weeks' time we'll finally have Braun in the game. No news yet on the bot itself, what his ability is, in what class he's going to be. Nothing at all yet. But today we can look at the new combats, which is Groundhog and Big Daddy. So they are in the game today. We'll be showing them live. Also, we're taking a look at the new ability 11 for Topspin and Terrormander, and looking at whether it's worth it or not. Is it good? Is it OP? We'll be having a look. And we're also discussing about prime cores. It's been a hot topic this week on, people that haven't got them, people that have got them, making a huge difference on defense. So we'll be talking a bit about that as well. Talking about resource hoarding. Is it good? Is it bad? Tying sort of in with prime core shards and sort of talk about what I'm saving, why, and not just the why, but like why I always do this and why I've sort of gone towards those specific resources for hoarding, and sort of explaining the logic behind it, and hopefully you can sort of follow that logic. And yeah, we'll be talking about that. And we'll also be talking about some important bots for taking out that key combo of the MDS, Micronus, the shield gen, healing build bots, self-repair core, causing absolute chaos for people in wars. People saying, listen, it's impossible, it's too much focus on it, it's too much HP, it's going crazy. Well, we've got a solution. We've got some simple solutions on how to get over that Micronus shield gen sort of combo. And it might not be the bots you're thinking of. That's all I'll say for now. But yeah, so we can't talk about that all today. But first, before we click on any further, let's have a look who we've got in the chat. So we've got Staple, one of our members. How's it going, buddy? Run up on Holland, E-Rods, Escalhosse, Lord Avix. If you hit me up, I will give you all a Sunstreaker Wozza stash crystal. Just for being early, because we had to start a bit late today. It was a rush job, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I'll say some hellos first. We've got Grind Time as well. Master Ninja. We need to talk about that, what your comment is. We need to talk about that. Penny Lancaster, Kill Cannon as well. D-Deck76. Freezius in the house. What's up, brother? Joseph Trillo. Chip Cox. Back for T. Eli. Have I got that? I think I have. We've got Grimlador as well. We've got Action Whale. We've got Chris Harmon. Thanks for joining, guys. Hayes1345. Stan Tarvin. We've got... Oh, I would love to be able to read that. It looks like Anton, but I'm sure it's not. I don't want to offend you by saying Anton, and it's not. But hit me up in the chat and let me know how to pronounce that, so I can at least try and get it right. And then you never know, 6 months down the line, I might actually get it right, like back for T. Eli. You never know. We've got Cameron Naylor as well, MD Prime. We've got the Mercenary Terror as well. We've got... I think that is everyone. We've not got loads in right now because I start a bit late, so I'm sure some people will join in throughout the stream. So yeah, what's happened is there's a program that I use, and I've used for... since day one of creating my channel, to create my thumbnails. And literally this week I was creating loads of thumbnails for different videos, and all of a sudden it says like, you've reached your limit. I was like, what? It says you've reached your limit for creating thumbnails. I was like, what the hell? So I looked at other programs and I thought, you know what, I know this program inside out, back to front. I've used it for years. And I thought, I don't want to sort of start again with a new program. So it's actually cost me sort of a subscription fee. Granted, it is very minimal. It's a very small cost. So I forgot all about it until today. Went to create a thumbnail. I was like, oh yeah, I've created too many. Because I've done some thumbnails for my videos. Because it's been a backlog. Because I'm going to do 2 a day. I had like 4 or 5 videos to create thumbnails for. I was like, oh, I've got a backlog. I can't create any. I'll subscribe. I'll pay the fee. I was trying to get round it, but I'll pay the fee. Paid the fee. Went to save a new one. sorry, you've reached your limit. I was like, right, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. So literally I had to close it all down, reopen it again. I just had to log in. That's all. I just realised I've not actually been logged into it. Although I just paid, I wasn't logged in. I don't know how it works. But anyway, we got logged in. We got the thumbnail made and saved. And we started the stream. So apologies for starting slightly late, but now you know why. Streamer problems. But yeah, all sorted now. But yeah, going back to Master Ninja's comment saying, great base grind time. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Ask him where he got it from. That's all I'll say. We'll leave it at there. But yeah, I'm sure you can guess it's actually my design, pretty much. It's changed it a bit. He has done some little edits. But yeah, it's held up really well, actually, in Wars. Until, if you were in Discord yesterday, you probably saw I was having a joke with Tex that we went against Ark, and it was a good war, to be fair. It was a really good war. It was really close. We were a man up, and we just about won. So I'd like to do that again, facing Ark with 40v40. Make it fair, be a good war, be close. But I was base 1, and Grind Time will give me a dig about this. He always does. I wasn't charged up. I just forgot to charge it. And so, yeah, it's a bit of a... I got a drop, to be fair, but when it is charged, I've had people really, really struggling. But like any base design, it's really, really hard at first, but there are some simple ways around it. But what happens is you bring this new base design out, people struggle against it, people find a way, then people succeed against it, and then you have to change your design to something else. So we're at that sort of stage right now that people are starting to find ways around it and starting to make it so it's not as hard. But yeah, I can't remember. I don't even want to say really, but I can't remember who we faced the other day. But it got a lot of drops. I'm talking like half the alliance drops on it. So it's a good base design. So if you are looking for a base design, when I bring the game up, take a look at it. You're welcome to copy it. I've always said this. And people message me sometimes and say, "Hey, can we copy your design?" You don't have to ask me. You don't, honestly. But all I say is, if you do copy it, if you're having problems with it, hit me up. I'll give you some tips. And if it is working, just let me know. You know, it's just for a bit of self-pride, really. Go, hey, Wozza, listen, I copied your base. It's holding up really well. I can't remember who it was. Someone the other day said I copied Warrior's base like... I copied it years ago, he said, and it's still holding up now. I've not changed it since. That's brilliant to hear. You know what I mean? That someone's copied a base design that I did, and, you know, half the time... maybe even more than that, maybe 75% of the time, it's base design that I design myself, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I like to design my own bases, really, not just copy people. I might take an idea off people and go, right, I like that idea, but I'm going to make it even better, and sort of change some cores and change some things around. But yeah, I've done that in this instance. Someone had a design doing this, and it was quite hard, and I thought, I think I can make it harder, and I've kind of done that. So, yeah. That's then just put, I'll get it next time. Cool. We'll talk about some bug fixes later. I can see a couple people in the chat asking about bug fixes. We'll talk about them later. There have been a lot of bug fixes. But for the time being, we will take a look at the news. So, Barwick Grand, Barwick Ninibong. Lives on the line. And I would love to take credit for the thumbnail, but I've actually stolen it off Engineer Hoist. I mean, I had the picture in my files. It's sat there. But when I saw it, I was like, I'm sure I've got that picture. I was like, that's a good picture, though. You know, the picture of Optimus Prime sort of on the bed. Sort of looks like the dying scene from Transformers the movie. Lives on the line. I was like, yeah, that's pretty genius. So props to Engineer Hoist. But yeah, I had to steal that. I was like, I thought about not. I thought, no, I can't steal the idea off him. I thought, no, I'll pick something else. And after the picks, I was like, it's just not as good. It's just not as good. I've got to use that image. It's just perfect for this title. So props to NJ Hoist for that. But yeah, week 2 of the saga. So it's this weekend's event is 750,000. So pretty chilled event. It's like 15, 18k each. So pretty easy event. And it's like a combat event basically. So it's up to 500 5-star combat shards, 40 combat crystals, some 4-star, 3-star, and premium crystal shards, G metal and gold power core chips, 250,000 combat spark, and 250,000 spark as well. And as usual, all these rewards are sort of scattered throughout evenly, with the G metal power cores being at the top end. So yeah. decent event. The usual battle zones as always, and then we've had a game update. So release cadence changes. So this is in terms of when they bring a new bot out, in terms of the endurance event. I was gonna say leaderboards, but no, or maybe I was gonna say endurance, but you know, when these bots come out for endurance events, it's how long till they get an ability 11, how long till they come out in prems, all this sort of thing. So they're just going through that. That the bot will be released, then the shard exchange is unlocked. Then 4 weeks later, they'll go in character crystals in as bundles. The G1 will be released, the builds around that time. And then bot dupes can drop G1 cores as well. Profile bundles are unlocked, so you can go and buy them individual bundles. And then normally about 3 months later, those bots will go into the crystals as normal. And the G1 added to the generic G1 chips. And they say that, but then I'm pretty sure Skid's G1 is not in the generic chips, so I wouldn't stick to this rigid. I hope they do. Again, I talked endlessly about spaceship scheduling and you know, sort of making sort of promises that they can't keep, and I get it, it's not their fault. You know, I understand things crop up to put these things behind, but then they create these sort of schedules that are time limited, where they're like, "Can we do that? I think we can do that," and then they're like, "No." You know, they're too optimistic in sort of like what they can do, which is a good thing, I suppose, rather than being pessimistic. But sometimes lets the player base down. But they do happen eventually. But yeah, you get the idea. Then we've got Topspin and Terrormander's ability 11, so we will be looking at that shortly. And then Brawn update, so we see there, that is what Brawn looks like now. So that is a lot better, but someone did point out that oh, my camera's gone off, I just realised. Someone did point out that it's not quite finished transforming or something. I think they said the top bit there should be at the back, so not quite. So let me just try and get this camera back on again. Give me a second. And that is the old design of I'll say Hound then, of Brawn, and the colours weren't right, and even I said the same. I was like, yeah, this is not right. I was like, it needs to change, and you can see there that the colours are a lot better for the newer design rather than the old design, so a lot better. Hey, and there we are, we're back. Then we've got the 4-star Titans that are coming in a week's time. So we did review this at our last stream, and we did release a video earlier this week. So if you want to know what the 4-star Titans are like, what it's worth going for the event, then I would go and check out that video. Don't keep going over old content constantly. But what I will say is, and I've said this to everyone that I've been speaking to about this, is that just remember that it's all well and good saying, I'm not going to take part in the event, I'm going to save my 4-star shards, I'm going to do it that way. It's not just a case of that. Listen, if the Fort Max part was released in 2 weeks' time, as being able to be bought with 4-star shards at the same time as the event, I'd get it. But it's not. It's going to be months down the line. So people are going to get this 4-star part in 2 weeks' time. And so they will have, you know, level 20 4-star Titans, but in like 3 months or less. A lot less probably, actually. Yeah, where you'll still be having a 3-star Titan way behind. It puts you behind in wars. So as long as you're fine being behind the meta for a few months, that's fine. But keep that in mind that you will be behind for a few months. So yeah. Then go check out your content creators as well. Obviously, NJ Hoist, Freezes Max, Soldier, and myself. And obviously, go and check out Grind Time as well. Grind Time's taking a slight hiatus, but he will be back, I'm sure. And then going on to the Saga schedule, so you see there, they've only released 4 weeks as it is, which makes you think, why? I can't help but think there's something there. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being a bit, you know, a bit of a sleuth, but there is something. But you can see there, 11th of Feb, Bulkhead and Breakdown Prime and Premium Chips, Skids and Knockout, G1 and Premium Chips they'll be in. So yeah. Then there'll be a stream next week. So they are streaming once a month now, which is quite disappointing really, because there's not enough content, but there is. But yeah, they're saying that they need more time, but I think I just said today that it's 2 hours. It's an hour to set up and an hour to do it. That's all it is. It's 2 hours out of the week. If you can't spend 2 hours a fortnight to talk to your player base, then there's something wrong, really. But hey, they decided to go to once a month. But hey, that gives you more reason to come and watch me. So you know, there's other people you can still watch when they're not streaming. So yeah. But yeah, this week obviously 5-star combat event. We've got a 5-star shard event next week, and then we've got the combat release in about 2 weeks' time. Bugs, fixes, and improvements. So this is an endless list. And to be fair, the Daily had said they've changed the process to increase the amount of bug fixes they can do, and you can see that that process is actually working quite quickly. So this is a good thing. And basically, it's down to Adam being brought to the game. So I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It's a bit of a strange one. But Adam is back on the team and absolutely smashing it. And I've got to give props to Adam. He's been in the playtest chat, and it's good to... So what would normally happen in playtest, I don't want to bang on too much about this, but to give you an idea behind the scenes is, so Fabian would come in the chat and say, and I think this is just down to Adam's personality really, and maybe his experience, I don't know, but Fabian would come in the chat and go, right guys, this bot is out, let me know what you think. So we'd all let him know what we think. We've got this and this and this and this and this and this, and then silence, and then a week later or so, Fabian would go, right, I've made these changes, take a look. And then we would change it and go, right, okay, we like this, we don't, blah, blah, blah. And a few days later, Fabian would go, right, I've made some changes. The difference with Adam now is, Adam goes, okay, this is the reason it was doing that. I don't like that. I do that. I agree. I'm going to change this. Let me know what you think. I sort of give you an idea behind his thinking behind it. And it gives you a bit of an insight on where they want the bot to go. So before we would all give our insight and even some probably argue sometimes because we're like passionate about the game. Like I don't like this. Someone goes, I think it is good. I think it's OP. I don't think it is. These are sort of counter arguments either way. Whereas you know Fabian would let us do it, and then he would just make a change where Adam started jumping in and going, yeah, I think this actually, and I think that, sort of giving his sort of input with it. So it's good to see. It has changed playtest a bit for the better, I think. So yeah, I'm glad Adam's on board as well. He's a cool guy. He was here in the game's concept, so props as well to the team for getting him back on board. But Compitron was showing the wrong ability on replay, so they fixed that. Skids and Knockout, they've removed the passive ability. I haven't got the 5-star. I've rarely used a 4-star, so I didn't really notice this. But Frazier says to me that this was an absolute pain. And he's so glad it's been taken off. So if he says that, then I'll take his word for it. It's a good move. If he says so. And they fixed the issue with them not being able to use combats like Top Shot and Fireline. So that's a good fix. Top Shot and Fireline, the 2- and 3-star versions, we're still using the old bug configuration. Basically doing more damage than they should, I think. They're now fixed. So, yeah, I'm still not confident these bots are... The work as intended. I'm just not confident they should be intended that way, if that makes sense. They're matching the tooltip. I think the tooltip should be changed, personally. But that's a conversation of the day. Night Stick and Fracas was doing less or no damage to walls. So that's been changed as well. The big one for me is Trip Up and Roller 4. So I have been complaining about this endless to Dale. This bot has been out for months now and they've never got it right. And I think part of it was down to being bugged. Part of it was down to a good concept poorly executed. So like they've said here that they tested on it and it was doing the right thing, but the pulse was being sent out every 10 seconds. And so if a bot was outside that pulse and then what's inside of it, you weren't getting a lot of benefit out of it because it's only pulsing every 10 seconds. And if it didn't get within that pulse, so if the bot was within that pulse for the next 10 seconds, I think it is, that bot would get an increase in speed. If it was outside that pulse and then walked in like a few seconds later, it wouldn't get it. So you'd have to be within that pulse every 10 seconds. So the apes have changed that to every 2 seconds now. So now if a bot is slightly outside that circle when it pulses, if he walks in and the pulse happens again, they'll now get that benefit. So it's a good move. It's not a buff as such, it's just an improvement to make sure that the bots are actually getting the benefit. So really, really good move for Trip Up and Roller Force. Prowl wasn't doing damage to walls, so that's been fixed. Dinobot and Dinobot 2 were freezing on the battlefield, been fixed. Slingshot and Acid Storm weren't doing damage to HQ. We want to try and do an HQ strike. Maybe not the best move, but still, bit annoying when you want to try and finish off a HQ. It's got a smidge of health, and they're doing nothing, which did happen to me. So yeah. Broadside in 8th phase, they corrected the tooltip for the repair drone's ability, and they reduced the amount of healing dealt when exploding to match the healing value they do in battle. So basically, it was like, it was supposed to be like X amount they do DPS, and all together roughly they do about 5k. It was showing they do 5k each when the healing bomb goes off, which is not the case. So that does need to change. But I have advised Dale that Broadside I don't think is doing the correct values, and he doesn't heal himself either when he uses his healing build bots in battle. And some people might say, well, they're not supposed to, but weirdly enough, when it goes down to like 10-15% health, then the healing build bots do heal him. It's a bit of a weird one, but I have passed it on to Dale. I did a battle today on purpose using him just so I can show it, because I sent him a video, but it was like a defense attack against myself. So yeah, I've had to show him that, and they said that'll probably get fixed by next week as well. Combiners are doing more damage against regular bots, which makes sense because I was struggling a bit against Computron sometimes. So I was healing my bots and my bots were just dying. I'm like, what's going on? So that's a good thing. And the purple Crimzy cannot target the MDS, and it can't be hacked after a hacked building has been jumped on by a Crimzy. I know a few people aren't really happy with this, but I kind of get it. That it shouldn't be hacked. So it was a glitch in a way. So yeah, there's a big debate about should the MDS be hacked, which we'll talk about shortly. So acid and fire. So I do need to make a statement about this. So I'm not gonna lie to you. They put we are aware there have been videos going around demonstrating these do not work. That was my video. So Yanis actually hit me up. It's very rare that Yanis actually hits me up, to be fair. He likes to keep his distance, so he does pop in every now and again into chats, but it's rare to see Yanis. So if Yanis hits you up, there's something wrong. And he sort of said to me that, you know, that video you did isn't quite correct. He explained that there's a reflection from the resource building, so it absorbs 20%. So the way he sort of described it as, if I do 1,000, just to make it easy, 1,000 damage against a resource building, because it reflects 20%, my bot will take 200 damage, but then only the resource building will only take 800 damage out of that 1,000. So I didn't even know that worked that way, and I sort of said to him that, you know, I thought that the resource building would take 1,000 hits, though, would take the damage, and then I would get 200 as well. And it's like, no, because it's reflect, it just means it gets 200 less. I was like, right, well, it kind of makes sense, but you do need to sort of state that, because if I'm a content creator and I didn't even know that as such, it makes sense now you think about it, but it's not something that's talked about in the game or described or anything, so it should disagree. But I still think that the target should still take 100% of the damage, I think. I did say that, so, and I said, listen, just because it's always been in the game that way, doesn't make it right. You know, if my whatever bot does X damage, I want it to do X damage, unless there is something I know in the game which will tell me it is not going to do that damage, whether it's a shield, whether it's healing. But I should be able to look on the battlefield and go, right, my bot is going to do this, and that's a definite. It shouldn't be a, is he going to do that, isn't it? And he said also that using bots like Sunstreaker isn't good because they have a approximate damage, and I said that's not fair either. And he's like, well, it does say that in the tooltip, and yeah, it does, to be fair. I had to double check, but it does. But I still think that should be eliminated. Get rid of the approximate. People want definites. When you're attacking a building that is 3,000 HP and you've got a bot that does approximately 3,000 HP, it's not good. You should be able to say this bot does 3,000. That bot is going to take that out. What you don't want is a situation where you're like, right, okay, I know if I'm really going to go into the, you know, the maths of it, the MDS has this much healing. If I hit it with this and this, take out the shield and maybe whatever, that will kill that MDS, and then it leaves it short, and my Cronus kicks in and it's full health again. And then you can sort of say, right, well, don't use them bots. But we're just alienating some bots. You know, bots like Sunstreaker do approximately. But then why would you ever use a bot that does approximately? Or what you've got to do is, if you want 3,000 damage, you've got to level it up to just 3.5 to make sure there's 3,000. I just don't think it's really fair. So I do think there needs to be a fix on that, where we're giving definite values, where this bot does this in that area. Jazz has that, and it gets a burn, but it should still do the amount of damage. And Yanis like, yeah, but it depends how many rockets hit. I went, oh, that's your problem there. Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't be each rocket thing. It should be an area thing, and that is it. So when rust dust hits, it doesn't matter how many rust dust, you know, of the bullets hit that area for fire. It still does the same amount of damage, and that's how they all should work. It should be a definite rather than a, you know, a variable. But yeah, I do have to hold my hands up and say I did get it wrong in that sense. It was working, but every day's a learning day, to be fair. And props to Yanis for hitting me up. He didn't have to. I could have just left it and just put it in a newsletter and just sort of left me to it. But yeah, props to him that he's actually contacted me and sort of cleared it up so we know. But I still think there's changes to be made to make it clearer. So yeah. So apologies, guys. But hopefully that can address the issue. Then there was a bug where medics were running off from bots. Now they've came out and said that bots that are stationary and use their ability for a length of time, they should be healed. But bots that, obviously jets, shouldn't be healed during the use of ability. That's fair enough. And bots that transform, use their ability and transform back again, they won't be healed. So there are times where I would do Cup Lagoon with a healer. I'd use Cup, and the healer would run off, attacking a defense. So healers will attack defenses if there's nothing to heal. So when you use Cup, the healer will disengage from Cup and will start to shoot at defenses. So a fix for me, if you are trying to do that on power level art, and there's been a lot of complaints, is use Cup's ability, use your healer ability. Yes, it does make it more expensive, but that's one of the things. And then your healer, by the time Cups uses ability, your healer will then re-engage with Cup. That's generally how I get them up the battlefield. So it is a workaround. If you use a healer's ability, they will re-engage again rather than running off. But sometimes I think that was happening in war, where they will disengage. They will disengage from your whole team and walk off. I've seen that sometimes, and I'm not sure this is the bug that the apes haven't seen, that people are talking about more. And then they've found this sort of, it's not a bug, but this sort of question that people go, well, this happens. So we'll have to wait and see. But I have seen it where certain bots, especially Wheeljack, runs off to his death. So if you do see that in your wars where your healer disengages from the whole team and runs off, then please send a message to Space Ape with a ticket or Dale and let him know, because they are on it in terms of bug fixes, and I'm glad they're finally turning it around. I did say to Dale that because of this, you're probably losing a lot of players because they're tired of bugs in the game, and it's good they've addressed it. And to fair to Dale, even he said, yeah, I agree, our bug fixing hasn't been good, and we've changed the system now, and now Fabian is just sorting these bugs out. We've got Adam creating the new bots. We've got Yanis doing the new war mechanism, which I believe is coming soonish. When I say soonish, what I mean is the next couple of months, not like the next few weeks. But I believe they might be talking about it in the stream. Hopefully it is coming soon. I do ask Dale a few questions on when's this and what's happening with that and what's this. And yeah, I said it is looking good. It's coming along well, and be available soon. But soon, how long is this piece of string? Cool. And yeah, and that is the end of the news. So I have sort of said every single stream, don't forget guys that I have said if I hit 20 platinum members, I will give away a $75 gift card to someone. That is going to be amazing for the endurance event. It's going to be amazing for the Fort Max event. Well, no, it'll be after that, so no, ignore that. But those sort of events. But, you know, end of this month, we'll be giving away another gift card. So, at the minute, we've got 17 members, so that's $50. Just need 3 more platinum members to get to 20 members, and I'll be giving away a $75 gift card. How good would that be? $75 in time for the endurance event. Even if you're a free-to-play guy, I kind of get that, you know, you might not spend on the game, but it's a subscription to a YouTuber. And if you do that, like I said, in with a shout of a $75 gift card. And I know some people have said, like, you know, why don't you give toys away, Wozza? And I have thought about it, but I'll be honest with you. So I won a toy off Space Ape. They didn't win it. Well, they sent me one. They said, listen, we've got lots of toys. As a thank you, I want to send you a toy. I was like, yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks. And it came in the post, and literally the box was battered and bruised. It was broken. I was like, and I like to keep them in the box. It sort of, you know, keeps them a bit like, you know, I don't know. It's more of a collector thing. And I sort of sent a picture today. I said, look at this. So to be fair, they sent me another one out, which was a lot better. But I spoke to Dale about this. It's like, you giving toys out. What do you think? How would you do it? And he was like, honestly, I wouldn't. The amount of complaints we got from sending them toys out where the boxes are knackered and where customers have ripped them open to have a look what's inside to check it, and they've ripped the box and stuff and not really sealed it back up again, and the box has got wet and stuff, and they just really, really mistreat it, sadly. So unless you're sending it sort of like special delivery, but to send a special delivery from here over there, and then you could say, well, you could send it from the American Amazon store to someone that's in America. So yeah, I could probably do that, and it maybe reduce on postage, maybe. I don't even know. But then you've got to think that if there's a problem with that, then it's quite hard for me to sort out. It's not, I can ring America, to sort it out with Amazon. Obviously, UK is very easy to sort out. But I don't know. It's just very, very difficult, and I don't want to be constantly, endlessly sort of chasing things up. Where the gift card is, here's a gift card. But what I'm going to offer people is that if for some reason you would rather have an Amazon gift card rather than a Play Store gift card, then I'm fine with that. You can let me know and I can send you an Amazon gift card instead. It doesn't matter anything to me. It doesn't make a difference. But yeah, we can do that, so you can buy a bot of your choice. So yeah, I can offer that, but that would be sort of on you to sort of organise that and buy from the store rather than myself sort of ordering it. So yeah, keep that in mind. But like I said, 3 more platinum members and we will hit that 20 mark to give away a $75 gift card. So yeah. Yeah, Chris Hammond's put it's about $70 to mail from Europe to the USA. Yeah, exactly. It is a stupid amount to mail. I wouldn't mail from the UK, not a chance. And there's like forms you have to fill in and stuff like that. It's just very, very time consuming. So I would never send from the UK to US. But I don't think it's $70 because I did send Grind Time something, but it did cost me like, I think it was $10-15 just to send it. So obviously that's on top of the thing, on top of the winning the price. So it can get costly, can't it? So yeah. Grind Time. I'll just take my gift card. Okay, let's go into the game. So there was a big talk today about the Prime Core Shard, and I kind of get people's frustrations in a way. So the frustration was that the communication wasn't great, which I kind of agree and I don't, and I'll talk about it in a minute. So people are saying that when the Prime Core Shards are sort of coming out, everyone was buying these G Metal cores because they wanted them, and they chased certain cores. Now that's a flaw in itself, because if you look at these sort of cores, Prime Core Shards, I think. So when we're looking at Prime Core Shards, so serious defensive G Metal, you've got a 1 in what 25 chance of getting whatever G Metal you want. So you need 25. So when you're at a Prime Core event, you're getting one of these. You got a 1 in 25 chance once a month. So chasing specific ones of these is a daunting task, and I think you're more likely to get it by getting and opening bot bundles than you are through them defensive G Metal chips and completing events. So I think that's a poor system as it is. So when I got mostly G Metals for my base, I sort of stopped buying these and started saving the Prime Core Shards anyway. And then soon after that, they sort of announced in stream, listen, we're going to be doing something with Prime Core Shards. Can't say much, but it's going to be good. Watch out for it. So straight away, I'm thinking, I'm going to save. I can do without that 1 or 2 G Metals. I understand if you're the commander of an alliance, you want to have the best base possible. So you are going to chase defensive items. And I'm sure that many people, if they knew what was coming, they would have saved. But that's not everyone. So I think that maybe 60% of people maybe saved all their Prime Core Shards knowing something is coming. I think 20% of people were oblivious to it, didn't even know about it. And I think 20% of people just thought, well, I'm going to keep going with my G Metals. Now, the 6% that chose to save and the 20% chose not to, that's your choice. So you can't be mad if you chose G Metals. It's the 20% that didn't know about it. And I was speaking to Dale about this a bit today, and I think they could communicate better in game. I do think that. You know, we communicated it in Discord, it was on the streams, but I get that not everyone has the time to go and watch YouTubers. I think around that time, I was just doing streams. I wasn't really doing many videos. So I'm sure if I did a video saying, check this out, save your Prime Core shards, then maybe more people would have. But at the time, I was just doing my streams, so it's a bit less informative, really. But there should be something in the game. Some sort of news feed. You know, once a month, when they do their stream, this is the news feed on things that are happening in the game or something. And I think that should be there. So I do think the communication could be better. But I kind of get that if you're a mid to low level player and you don't keep up with the news, yeah, I get it, it's just a bit of a pastime. But if you're a top player in the game, I'm sorry, but you have to go and seek out that information. You need to. You need to be asking the questions of why are we saving these? What's it going to do? And sort of pushing for these things and knowing these changes. There's nothing more frustrating when you're in a alliance, top alliance, and people are going like, oh, when did that change? Oh, I didn't know about that. Hang on a minute, this bot isn't doing what it used to. Why has it changed? And you're like, yeah, that was been spoke about for the last 2 weeks. In the Cybertron chat, it was in the stream notes, it was posted on the newsletter, I've done a video on it. It's been there. You know, you just chosen not to read about it. You know, if you're a top player, you want to be a top player, you know, go and seek out that information. You can't be mad when things change, you know, and you didn't know about it. So that's on you to go and check that, to go and seek that out. But I do understand not everyone uses Discord. I know everyone watches YouTube, so I think they need to advertise it in game or talk about it in game. I have said that to Dale, but whether that will improve or not, I mean, I've been saying for the last 4 years that they don't advertise their content creators even in game. So that's a big one for me. You know, they're official content creators that create content for them. They have nothing in game saying go and check these people out, which for me is really, really poor. So I think that we need some sort of in-game communication, which is better, just a news feed. You know, they do have this sort of news feed here, you know, so they've got, hey, new 5-star batch, go and check it out. And then just, they've got content creators, but then it takes you to an external page. Why can we not just list them there? You know, it's things like that. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know that was there still. That was there ages ago, I didn't even know it was there, you know. But, you know, they could easily add links into this, you know what I mean, just web addresses or something a bit different. So yeah, they do advertise things, but there's nothing about, you know, Prime Core shards as such. So they advertise Discord server and stuff like that, but, you know, there's plenty more they could do with that. That's the idea. Not just, you know, even that content creator thing is quite vague. I've got a bit vague on my chin there. They're actually still there. I didn't know. The first thing I brought up is that. But, you know, it's still not great advertising. You know, that people don't see like, oh, Wozza? Oh, right, okay. So, yeah. Right, let's check the chat before we go into a few of our subjects. Let's have a look. Where are we up to? Back for Eli stole Texas base. I'm not just saying this. I'm not calling him out. I actually found Texas base a bit easier than the rest. I'm not just saying that. Maybe it's because I was like, I'm on this now. I can't lose to his base of anyone. But I don't mind time traps. I actually do well against time traps. It's split bases I struggle against. So yeah. What else? Oh, Erods, thanks. He said your streets are better than theirs anyways. Appreciate it, thanks. Penn Lancaster's put, to be fair, oh bro, they never finished Slingshot transformation. Have his legs sticking out the back. Oh right, okay, I didn't even know that, so yeah. Ronald Van Holland, Adam the bug fixer. Yeah. Grim the Door, Adam was always my favourite ape. He has got that aura about him, hasn't he? I don't know, it's something. He is just a likeable guy, but yeah. But then again, I don't know. Back then it was a lot simpler. That's all I'll say. Ronald Van Holland, Amy's the best ape. Yeah, I do like Amy a lot. I do like Dale a lot, to be fair. I do. I feel sorry for Dale half the time. He does work endlessly. He does work hard for the game. And I do feel sorry for him sometimes. But, like I've said to him, but sadly that's his job. As a community manager, he's the one that gets all the stick to pass it on, sadly. And, you know, that's kind of what he signed up for. I don't mean, like, getting, like, abuse or anything like that. But all the complaints he gets and all the PMs he gets, like, hey, like, you know, listen, that's kind of it. But there's other games out there that don't have someone like that. they're a community manager, but they don't spend half the time, even a quarter of the time Dale does in chats and talk to people. So props to him, but if anything, he kind of overworks himself. But he is good for the game, no doubt. Win the doors, but broadside ability just seems underwhelming. Well, yeah, a bit. I have been using him a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm starting to level him. I do like him, but it's a bit random. I think it needs buffing slightly. They buffed him, but I think it needs buffing slightly. Nothing crazy. This needs a bit more. Yeah, Penny Lancaster Sports. Sorry, guys. I was going on and on about basically going on about the 2 and 3 star. Going, the 2 and 3 star, it does this. Why does the 4 and 5 star not do it? And instead of buffing the 4 and 5 star, they're just neutered the 2 and 3 star. So yeah, it is what it is. Never mind. Listen, I've done that many a time. Honestly, I've done it. I've gone, listen, this is doing this. Why is that not doing that? And then they go, oh right, yeah, we're going to nerf that. You're like, oh, why did I do that? But you've got good intentions. You know, many a time, I mean, I've seen it in the chats. It's frustrating where someone will go, oh yeah, Wozza got this bot nerfed. Like Slingshot. It was going around that I got him nerfed. And not for 1 minute. So I said, why don't we reduce his ability damage, but improve the acid and improve... So I wanted to improve the combo aspect. I'm not even going to use this guy to one-shot. You know, if he's doing a lot of damage, I don't want another Jetfire. That was the idea behind it. I was like, I don't want another Jetfire. I want something that can be utilised really well. So I said to the apes, let's lower the ability damage, increase the acid timer, increase maybe the stack of fire. That'll be better than what he's doing right now. And then didn't increase the timer, didn't increase the fire or acid, but decrease the damage. And I was like, oh, brilliant. Yeah, great, thanks. And everyone was like, yeah, was a neutered Slingshot. I was like, that's kind of half the truth. Yeah, it probably is my fault, but it wasn't because I said, let's nerf this bot. So, it's one of them. So we've all done that, sadly. Grim the Doors. Why I quit buying from Hasbro in terms of toys. Their shipping is terrible. Yeah. So Erad's put, this is a good subject actually to talk about. But it's really not fair that people that don't support the game and left are getting a 5-star bot, and a lot of us that spend money and be grinding, playing all the time are not. Very disappointed. Oh, I understand your frustration, but I probably disagree with that. Like, to keep this game going, they need more and more players. Now they're getting a lot of low players in, but at the top end of the game, they're struggling for top-end players. They really are. There's not a lot of top-end players left. And it's going to take a good year or two for those mid-level players, lower players coming through that spending to get to that level. So they're just trying to get some more people in the game. The more people they get in the game, the more healthy it is. Now you've got to think, these people have been away from the game from the last 9 months, a year. And we're talking, I was saying to Dale, like, what we're talking is like people that haven't logged in once in like last year, maybe. Not once. They haven't logged in or something like that. It's an extreme. It's not like someone that only plays once a week. It's someone that has quit the game, and that's clear. So someone that's quit the game, can we get them back by giving them a 5-star? You've got to think that over the last year, how many 5-stars have you got from playing events, from 4-star crystals, coming 5-star shards and things like that? Probably a lot. Think about the event last year where they gave away a 5-star combat. They gave away. You know, so you got to think these sort of things where, you know, they're trying to get players back to entice them. I kind of agree with it. You know, over the past year, I've probably got about 8 5-stars. And you've got to think that if they give them a 5-star, are they going to be better off than you have playing the game for the last year? No. They might get that 5-star. They haven't got the spark you've got. They haven't got the combats you've got, the combat shards. Probably haven't even got... Have they got Metroplex? I don't even know. But there's plenty of things that they haven't got that you've got. They're probably still HQ 17 where you could be HQ 18. Trust me, if they could give them 5 5-star bots and they'll still be behind you. Having 5-star bots is not everything. It's having the combats as well, and having the resources, having the combiners, having the titans, the HQ level. There's so many things you need in this game to be a half decent player, no matter top player. That, you know, I think giving players a 5-star bot, I don't think it's that bad. And to be honest with you, I'd even give them a 5-star bot that they choose. I'd let them choose. But I'd say, listen, batch 1 to 8. Don't include the current batch personally. I'd be like, batch 1 to 8, tell me a bot, you can have that. You know, they've still got to level it. You know, but it might entice people back. You might have had that certain bot they were chasing, and listen, drop rates were a lot poorer back then. Rewards were a lot poorer back then. Leaderboards were a nightmare. So the game has come a long way, and if we can try and get them players, entice them back, and say, listen, the game has improved. Look at what we've done to improve this game. You know, if you love this game, but there was fundamental errors with it, which there was in terms of drop rates and in terms of getting certain resources, which is slightly got a lot better. It's not quite there yet. Got a lot better though, and people see that and go, you know what, the game's making strides. You know, you can see that. So I'm all for it personally, but I do get people getting frustrated about it. But yeah. Chris Harmon, I had a £2 package from Michigan to Norway, $71. Well, you've been ripped off there. Yeah, but to be fair, don't forget, Norway has a higher cost of living. So Norway is very, very, very expensive. So we might remember that. Yeah, grind times, but overall it's good for the game. The more players, the better. Bring them back with a freebie, and hopefully they can start playing and spending again. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Matt Polish put, can you take the gift card and invest it back into YouTube to pay for the next 2 months membership, giving you free entry? I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know how you would do that. Good question though. Also, Philspot and the Commander of My Alliance are definitely new to save. Yeah, well, the information was out there. Yeah, I just think it could be a bit clearer. But yeah. Action Wells asked, but always just jumps ahead. I hate when it does that. How many people will come back after 6 months plus? Because that means they need to go back their accounts. Yeah. But don't forget, they can get, as long as they can prove it's their account with like past purchases, things like that, they can get access to their account again, and then they can get a recovery code, and then they can just save that account to their Play Store. So it is doable. It takes a lot to save 5-star shots. I don't think it does, you know. I mean, to be fair, don't forget the Battle Pass is only a year old. So they've been gone for a year. They've had no shards in the Battle Pass. We've had 750 every single month because it alternated for a while. So in the past year or so, since the Battle Pass came out, you've had about probably 2 5-stars. 750 per month times 12. You know, that's 10,000 shards. You've had 2 5-stars just from the Battle Pass. Never mind like events where they give like 500 to 1,000 shards out and 4-star dupes and whatever else. So I think if you buy the Battle Pass, I think you should get 4 or 5 stars per year pretty much. Definitely 3. So yeah. Chris Harmon's put I'm getting 5-star shards like candy. Yeah. Because they put there's a lot of 300s. Yeah, on the recent war. Yeah, there was. Gregory Miller's put, it's not fair that defensive prime cores are more expensive than regular ones. I do agree with that. It was frustrating that you say, okay, I'm going to save 5,000, that'll get me all of them when they come out. Then they made it 7,500. But I understand that the economy increases. But, so here's my, well, the economy increases over time maybe. But normally prices decrease over time. But as resources become more available, then prices do need to increase. So, I don't know. Yeah. Mercenary Terrors, but will Double Crosser and Slitherthang, I don't even know who they are. Double Crosser is Sound Barrier, I think. If it's Sound Barrier, then no. Oh, Slitherthang. That's not his name, is it? I know you mean now, but yeah. As you call him, Slitherthang, that's who I've got on my Rook. So yeah, it's a good bot to put on Rook. Every bot that gets nerfed, your name has been called. Yeah, that's a good point, yeah. But when they get buffed, hey, that's not me either, is it? You know what I mean? So there's plenty of bots out there that have got buffed. I think that the Double Dealer buff was down to me. I think the Sandstorm buff was down to me. So I think those 2 bots getting a cost decrease was down to my video of how expensive these bots were. So, props to me, but then I got slingshot nerf, so you don't always get the credit you deserve, sadly, and then you get mud fling when it's not deserved. Slingshot's ability is even hard to use in a combo right now. To kill the healing with the MDS auto cannon. Well, we'll talk about that shortly, like I said. Yeah, if you are free to play, it is quite hard. But don't forget, if you are a low level player, free to play, then it is going to be quite difficult to get 5-star crystals anyway. So there's that. Someone's phone's ringing. I don't know whose. Yeah, Ero's got a good point there. You know that the game needs more players and money, but don't forget about those of us that have been here supporting it. We deserve good things too. Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah, but we do get good rewards. We do really in game. It is good. Well, yeah, well, Penny Lancaster's put, you know, that, you know, the YouTube's paid for through PayPal. So, can you get a PayPal gift card? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, actually, it's pretty easy to get 5-star shards now. Back in the 5th anniversary, I got my first and second 5-star. Now I'm getting my 15th. So, yeah, you know, I do think they are a lot easier anyway. Back for Eli's, but I've got 40k 5-star shards, still waiting on better bots. Yeah, a few I'd like, but the 4-star is good enough for most I'd want. Yeah, I kind of agree with that, especially with this recent batch as well. So there is that. So, yeah, I agree with that. Okay, cool. So, in terms of reserves hoarding, because I did post this in my side chat, I thought I'd let you guys know sort of what things I'm hoarding and why. So, my big thing is, and this is the general rule, if you don't need it, save it. And that's my golden rule. But what you got to think is, as the game progresses, if there's something that hasn't been changed in the last year or two, chances are that will change eventually. If something changes and there's a correlation, which I'll explain what I mean by that in a minute, then chances are that might happen to them as well. So then I start saving that resource. So then you've also got to think about suggestions. When you see suggestions in Cybertron, you think, that's a good idea. And Dale goes, that's a good idea. I'll take that to the team. And you go, I can see that happening. It's not OP. It'd work. That's a good idea. I think, right, I'm going to start saving that resource. So, let's go through it. So, the first one, obviously, is Tech Tree points. Since Tech Tree come out, everyone's pretty much got it maxed out. Me, personally, there's certain things in the Tech Tree that I'm not going to use. So, for example, laser resistance against beams. Yeah, half the resistance. But if your gunners are getting hit by a beam laser, then there's something wrong. Yeah, there shouldn't be anyway. You've broke the attack because your defensive bot should be in front of them. So I've not bothered unlocking that. Gunner range, I'm not impressed by it. It's one of those. It's Marmite. You either love it or hate it. I like my bots to be in range. There's good reason why they should stay back. I get it, but I think with Top Shot on my 6 gun, he's back enough. I don't want him back any further. He then goes out of range of being able to kill certain defenses, and I need 6 gun up front killing those defenses, so I haven't unlocked that either. Then Titan perks, combiner attack. When do you ever attack a combiner? Not that often. Not really necessary, so we'll leave that locked. Titan bot attack. Yeah, I could probably increase that, but by an extra 10%, I don't think it's going to be like crazily increased. Fire resistance, I don't really use that, so you know, meh. Titan speed increase, again, don't really use it. And then you've got the explosive decoy. I think that's huge, so I have done the decoy. I think that's massive for max. Ambush, affected by EMP, receive more damage. That's obviously important, but the lightning protection, spark, rejuve, not really keen on them, so I've saved my perks for them. So I don't really need them as such. Defensive ones, I think that's all maxed out, because obviously defense is really important. So defensive ones are all maxed out, but you get the idea that I think eventually, I don't know when, There's nothing been talked about, nothing been mentioned. But if they maxed out the skill tree, they've got to do something with it. There's got to be some sort of change. And I'm sure everyone in the chat now has probably got a close to maxed out tech tree. And so everyone's going to start saving points now. And so the apes are going to start thinking, right, listen, we've got people here with an abundance of skill points. What are they going to do with them? We're going to either increase tech tree levels. So they're either going to make these level 7 maybe, increase all these, or they're going to create new tech tree perks. Now, if everyone completed all the Titan perks, all the defensive ones, all the attack ones, everyone might have 15 points now. That's if you max everything out. Well, I'm well ahead of the game already. I've got 54. So when that tech tree comes out, if I want to go back and give myself that beam laser resistance, I can do. I've not lost anything. I have right now. It's going to make the game harder for me right now. But in the long run, I'm ahead of the curve. So if something comes out which makes my gunners really, really powerful, I can max that out day one. I'm ahead of the curve. So you put yourself behind the curve to be ahead eventually in the future. So I'm currently saving my tech tree points, not because the apes have done anything, but because it's a resource that has no use that I think they're going to eventually give a use to. So I think that will come. The next thing that I am saving is... Oh. I was saving them. Is my free chips. And the reason for that is that, you know, bots have got ability 11. They've got the character shards to increase their HP and DPS. We've not had anything for a while with combats. Combats are combats, and nothing's changed with them. Again, since concept, we've had new combats, yeah, but no changes to them. So, sure, there's going to be some sort of change soon. They're going to change them in some way. They can't keep making bots more powerful just by, you know, bringing new things out for them. They've got to start making combats more powerful, maybe. And how are they going to do that? Is it through dupes? Is it through shards? Are they got a new resource like they have with the, you know, with the bot crystals where they got the character shards and the class shards? Are they going to do that, maybe? I don't know. But I'm starting saving them. It's only 3 crystals. I'm not really going to miss them. So I'm saving them. Then we've got all the G metals and golds. I'm starting to save them again. And the reason is, again, I still think we'll have more cores come out. I think we'll have the fireproof dome. I really do. And even if we've got 10 G metals, I'm not going to be able to have enough for the fireproof dome. So, I'm going to start saving at least golds. Now, if I open 180 of these building core chips, I should be guaranteed a good 2 or 3, you know, fireproof domes easily. So, I'm saving these. And again, I don't need them. All my base is pretty much maxed out with G metals now, prime cores, so I don't really need them. Next up is actually prime cores as well. So I'm saving my prime cores now. So when I have 7,500 by the next event, I'm not going to pull. And visible reason is that the one left is Megatronus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save past that, and then when they bring the next lot out, then I'm going to pull. Because I think I can get a better core than Megatronus. So if you've got the Age Maximo and you've got Micronus right now, and you're saving up, I'd probably consider not opening these 3 and saving to see what comes next. It could be that the Alpha Trion core is massively OP. It could be like every 10 seconds it takes a point off you. Something crazy like that. Where people are like, you have got to have this core on your base. Got to. So, you know, I'm going to start saving these for hopes of something better than Megatronus. So, I'm also saving them as well. I'm also saving my character shards. And people will go, well, why are you saving them for, Wozza? Because you should be using these to improve your bots. Now, the only ones of these that I'm going to use are bots that are actually on my war team. And as you can look, that none of these that I've got here are actually on my war team. Triple Piz, but does it improve? None of these on my war team. So why am I opening these? So I spoke to Dale and I said, listen, I've had a good idea for these character shards and I hope it catches on. I really do. I think it'd be good for people to be able to choose. And again, I can't say it enough. Everything in this game should be about choice. Should I save this? Should I spend this? Should I go for this? Should I go for that? Should I go for this event or not? everything should be down to a choice. So I said today, what we should do is, when you get a dupe 4-star out of these character shards, so you pull this for 7,500, you should be guaranteed that bot's G metal core. Guaranteed. So that G1 G metal on that bot is guaranteed, on the bot specific. So guaranteed. But then you got a choice. Do you upgrade that bot and upgrade its class, upgrade it to general or whatever you want to do, or corporal, whatever it is at the minute? Do you want to upgrade it for the character shards or get the bot's G metal? And again, it's giving you a choice whether you want to go for the bot's core or increase the bot's DPS. And so again, if you've got the bot's core, you can, you know, use the shards to upgrade the bot. But if that G1 is really good and you're like, you know what, I'm not too bothered about a 5% increase in DPS and HP, but I would love this bot's G metal, then you can pull the shards for a dupe. And I think that's a good trade-off. You know, you're either increasing the bot strength or you're increasing it for a G1. You're increasing it either way, but it's your choice what to do. And, you know, Air Raid is not a 5-star yet. Double Dealer not. Firefly, I can't see me using, but you never know when I might need it, so I'm going to save that. Grapple, I think Hoist becomes a 5-star. I think I'll get a lot of votes. Beast Wars Ironhide, a good bot. I've got Cups G1, and I don't really use Cup Lagoon at the minute, so I don't really need it. So a lot of these bots right now, I don't need the G1 G metals. I've got Surprise as well, and I don't need their character shards. So I'm not gonna pull them right now until there's something better. If I start using Slingshot in Wars, then I'll probably increase in there. I've got a lot of Slingshot shards. So again, I don't need these things, so I'm saving them in the hope. And I've got Trip Up's dupe there in case they do add something to the character shards or something, where if you trade them in and you get a dupe Trip Up, you get something better. I've got a 4-star dupe guaranteed. So all these things I'm sort of saving in hope of in case something comes. There's no guarantees. I haven't got any inside information, but it's just from past experience of playing these games and playing this game, that when you get an overflow of resources and people have got enough of that resource, the apes need to create a demand for that resource. And how are they going to do that? By bringing something out where you need it. So, example, we had no reason really to buy character crystals. There was no reason to buy them. We had all the bots. We had all the 5-star bots. But now you need 4-star dupes to get character shards to increase your 5-stars. It's quite a genius, really, you know. But they've brought these sort of things in to, you know, make it make it better for buying bundles, make it a reason. So, you know, it's a good idea, to be fair to them. It is. So, you know, just consider it, guys. I'm not sitting here for a minute saying you have to save this resource. It's your choice. Don't save a resource if it's at the detriment of your account. So, if you've got no Prime Core shards, you shouldn't be saving them. If you haven't got all the bot ones, other than Onyx maybe, but yeah, if you haven't got them all, then I would go towards the bot ones first before start pulling defense cores. Always prioritize attack over defense. But if you're like me and you have got most of everything, then, you know, consider saving it. I just maxed all of it. Yeah, no doubt, I'm sure you did. Yeah, Runner Van Holland's put it's because of Dino Gate. I don't think it is. I worked it out. I think I got 2 5-stars because of Dino Gate, and I bought 6 bundles, 6 bundles. So 2 5-stars, but I've still got nearly 5 left over. So it's not because of that. It's because of the Cyber Pass, basically, and the amount of 5-star shards. Yeah, Chris Harmon's put my tech tree's all mixed. I still got 24 in the bank, but I've got 54. So, Penny Lancaster's tech tree maxed out next week. Exactly. So it's coming to an end now where everyone's been maxed out. So, no. I guess glitched or win a stash crystal. Penny Lancaster will make combats more powerful by not nerfing them. Ouch. Penny Lancaster, what is this fireproof dome you speak of? So, basically, in testing a while back, they, in the release of HQ 18, I think it was, maybe even earlier than that, it was when they brought out the anti-healing cores, I think. I think so. Anyway, they brought out the fireproof dome, which sort of reduced fire effectiveness. But we all said, listen, with the tech tree giving reduced fire, with the Titan and this, it's sort of killing fire abilities that aren't even that OP as it is. So why we sort of bring this out before the acid thing, before the acid and fire thing combo? And I think the 8s are looking ahead, thinking, listen, when this acid and fire thing comes in, it's going to be crazy OP. We need some sort of counter for this. And yeah, I agree with that. But at the time, when that combo wasn't in, it would have just killed fire abilities. So they've done the right thing. They've took it back. Now we're getting these combos that are really getting to, you know, show fire and acid, having a great combo. There needs to be some sort of counter, and that's going to be it, I think. I think they're going to re-release the fireproof dome cores eventually. They got to take them back and tested. This happened to the anti-hack cores. We said the anti-hack cores are appalling. I mean, ruins blades, bots like Scepter as well. But then blades became massively OP to the fact it was just hacking areas. And then sort of said, yeah, we could do with them anti-hack cores back now, because blades was crazy powerful. So yeah, that's the reason why. And then you hit Megatronus. Yeah, I'll probably save until they bring the next batch out. I'll stick a Megatronus either way. Yeah, Action Wales put, I've got Amalgamus to the age of Micronus, so I'm waiting. Good move, honestly. Pin Lancaster, Firefly's awesome with his G1 and ability 11. Get the program. Yeah, I agree. But he's very similar to Jetfire, and my Jetfire is very high. He's almost completely maxed out, so I don't need another one. Action Wheels, I finally made my base all G metal and prime cores. Just keep in mind though, I do see it sometimes. People go, yeah, I've got all G metals, but then they got like a self repair core and a cannon or something, and something crazy, or on a shock tower, and you're like, yeah. Sometimes just having G metals isn't right. It's having the right core. So literally, I have high velocity on my cannons. I wouldn't have anything else on them. I do have Ricochet or Death Pulse on my cannons. It's hard. I like Ricochet on them, but laser turrets are good on time trap. This needs to change them back over again. I've got the Ricochets, but I like them to just, yeah, I don't know. I'm still a bit on the fence with them either way. I like them, but are they suitable to this setup? I don't know. But do they stop bots around here and take more damage? I don't know. But yeah. Thunderstorm on your shocks, so, and then obviously Cybertron Charge and Guided Missiles and Micronus, Psychic Protocol. So you get the idea. Self-repair, Zone Heals, and then we've got the Healing Blockers ×3. And then we've got the Lightning Rod down there. So yeah, you can see like I've put all the right cores on. So make sure it's the right cores. So yeah. And any word on the magical core exchange machine? I believe next week's stream they'll be talking about it, and it might even be released next week, maybe in a few weeks. But it is coming soon, and when by soon I don't mean the war effects. Sorry, the new war update, as in like soon as in the next few months. I mean soon as in the next few weeks. So yeah, cool. Right, okay, let's have a look at the new combat. So the new combats are Big Daddy and Groundhog, and I do need to make a proviso of that. Two things. So one, this is a test account, so all the values are not finished. We've probably got another week with these combats yet before they are finalised. And I have found a bug with them that I think it's a bug that I've passed on, and I'll talk about this sort of like when we go through the bot. So just keep in mind this is not finalized, guys. So I don't want people sort of losing their minds over this and going, oh my god, this is crazy, or crazy good, or this is absolutely appalling. This is like kind of like a first look. So it's not the finalized version, but you can see this and sort of get where they're going with it and what it's going to do to make an assumption when it should go for it or not. That's the idea behind this, not the finalized product. So we've got Ultra Magnets and Outposts. No reason why, other than that's why the bot that doesn't do a lot of damage, that has high HP. Just show off. Cool. Okay, let's have a look at these new combats. Let's have a look at Big Daddy first on the bot side. In fact, we'll look at the showroom first. So Big Daddy's on pipes. There is Big Daddy. He does look very cool with his shoulder cannons. Very cool. He is a minion combat, so a bit like Trip Up. He just sort of, you know, stand side by side or stand back with the rest of the bots, doing damage from quite afar, I'd say. But again, sort of. I'll show you. We'll explain it soon enough. Then Decepticon version, we've got Galvatron along with Groundhog. So yeah, very, very cool. I'd like to see Groundhog transform. It looks really cool there, but hey, very, very cool. Okay, we'll look at Groundhog. We'll compare Groundhog because I've got the 5-star and 4-star leveled up the Decepticons, and we don't really show the cons enough. So Groundhog has a 5-star. So Groundhog has 19,872 health, 20k health. So we compare that to the likes of Night Stalker. He's even got more health than Night Stalker, and Night Stalker's survivability is quite good. Zor, same sort of health as Night Stalker, so you get the idea. So 19,872 health, really, really good health, and deals 280 DPS, so quite low DPS, but you know, does a decent amount of damage, but still 20k health. But this is the kicker. Uses long-range missiles against bots and combiners, dealing quadruple DPS. So he'll deal over 1,000 damage per second against bots. Now, just by reading this sort of description, if you're a sack player, this is going to be really, really good for you. And again, I've said in the past, I don't want everyone to start saying like, oh, what do I know about sack again? I don't want to kill sack. I want to make the sack harder, the actual sack itself. But once that's done, if you want to, again, add this guy in to your sack team, then I'm all for it. But yeah, quadruple DPS against outpost bots, so really good on attack, really good for a sack player especially. But then on defense as well, quadruple DPS against bots. Imagine this guy on defense, 1,000 DPS. And when you compare that, 1,000 DPS, when you think of Smokescreen, you think, oh my god, that guy is crazy in an outpost. So there you go. He's got about, what, 800 DPS? So yeah, granted you can put glitch on, which increases it. But basically, this is like having an extra Smokescreen on the battlefield, doing that damage to your bots. So let's have a look and see it in action. So we'll just go normal mode for now. Cool. So, at the minute, I think this combat is doing more damage than it should. I think it's doing times 10 damage. But you'll get the idea. So we'll send Iron Hide in first. Then we'll put pipes back here. To give you an idea. So Groundhog will drop out. And you can see there he's firing rockets from afar. But he is doing like 2,000 damage a second there. You can see he's absolutely annihilating that outpost bot. But when this engages, it becomes a short range combat. So you can see there that is short range unless he's firing against a outpost bot, and then it becomes a bit longer range. But still, 20k health. So look, it's surviving more than Pipes is. So yeah, we'll have another look. We'll have a look at the conversion as well. We'll see the conversion action. But everyone watching my channel knows that I'm very critical of these things, these bots and stuff like that. And as it's going right now, I actually really like this bot. I like bots that are relevant for both defense and attack. And this guy definitely is. I'm running about Honda asked, can he fit on Colagon? Silicon, whatever you want to call him. It's a minion combat, so it fits on anyone. So you can see there, doing crazy amount of damage. Escalosky's put, I'll take 3 please. Yeah, I honestly think this combat is that good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not going to do this amount of damage. It's going to do about half to a third of the damage it's doing. But you still get the idea that the damage it's doing is absolutely crazy. But right now, I'm really excited for this combat. When I saw the last 2 releases of combats, I can't remember who they were. I think that's it all, really. I wasn't really impressed with them. I was like, you know, I'm not looking forward to this next batch. But now this guy is in the next batch. I'm seriously considering whether I should go for even the current combats or not. So I do like Trip Up. Don't get me wrong. But we had a choice between... So Nightstick, yeah. But we had a choice between Trip Up and this guy. I'd probably choose Big Daddy. If we had a choice. I do rate him up there with the likes of Nightstick. And the likes of... I think he's better than all of them there. I think Nightstick is one of the best combats in the game. And I'd probably put this guy up there with him. I mean, we'll do some more testing next week and we'll give a final verdict. But I'm excited for something like this on defense. It's going to make defense even harder. You know, at the minute, still that you've got Compitron, you've got Qualagon on defense. And that's pretty much it, really. That's the only real worries. People are working out clever ways to get around them all of a sudden. But now, with this guy, it adds a new thing to take out. You know, it's this incredible DPS against bots. So I'm really excited for it. Cannot wait for this guy to come out. I'm going to see in testing. We'll bring out a finalized version probably next week with the exact values. But right now, I'm excited for where this guy's going. And I can't say how good this bot is looking. I'm hoping it sort of doesn't stay as he is. It's a bit too OP. But also doesn't get neutered. And that's sort of my feedback to the apes. I'm quite excited for this guy. For the first time in a while since Nightstick and that's Trip Up. Before that, I was quite excited for Zora and SG Steeljaw. But it's good that these new combats are looking really, really good. So, yeah. But, again, check out my review next week, my final review. And we'll be going through the bot again with a finalised version of what's going to be available when it comes to the game. Cannot wait. What do you guys think? Chris Hooper, is Roadbuster worth leveling? I'm not a fan personally, but I know some people are. But what else? Christopher Hooper better than Zor. Nice, yeah. Let's have a look at the 4-star version. Compare. Did I forget to do that, didn't I? So comparing the 4-star version. So you can see there the 4-star version has 14,000 health. So again, more than Nightstalker and 197 DPS. So still does 800 DPS against Outpost bots. So still really, really good. Any word on Brawn ability? No, I did say earlier that there's nothing at all yet. Nothing. Alright, it's still strange to me seeing these little combats having double the HP of full-size bots. Well, the way you got to look at it is that, yeah, they've got double the HP, but they've got normally a quarter of the DPS. So it's more like a tank. So you've got to compare this guy to Rook. So you got to see there. So he's got half the health and half the DPS. But he has his special ability is that sort of damage against bots. So that's in place of the explosive decoy in a way. So they all have, you know, either more health or more DPS. But they're nowhere near what bots are. Yeah, you can say always, you know, you can say, oh, it's crazy amount of DPS that a gunner has got compared to Rook. But yeah, they're different uses. Totally different. So, yeah, everyone said how good Fracas is, yeah. Him and Sidetrack on defense. Yes, Sidetrack's good one as well. Sidetrack is decent to be fair. When was the batch split up again? The batch will split up in 2 weeks' time. When this combat comes out, the batch will split. And then after that, in 4 weeks' time, we'll start seeing the new combats in a batch, I think. Maybe. But yeah, I'm tempted already to pull. I think when we get... Is it when we get 5? We get a batch out maybe? Or 4? and then when there's 10, it gets split. I'd have to ask Dale to be sure, but I think so. But yeah, super excited for that guy. Okay, cool. So I've been looking at some tests around acid and combos. There's been a lot of complaints from people saying, you know, the combo of the self repair and the Micronus with the shield gen, it's just too much. You know, we can't cope with it. We can't destroy it. So I'm thinking there's got to be some easy ways to get around that. There's got to be. So I thought I'd go through some sort of tactics in a way. So we'll go from old school tactics to new school tactics. Where's Jetfire? Christopher Hooper's bot looks like Big Daddy's a must-have combat bot. I think so. If he stays the way he is. So this is sort of what I was doing a few months ago to sort of get rid of the MDS before sort of my Cronus really though. So Prime League hard mode. So obviously they've increased the shield gen HP slightly, but we'll take a boost with us. We can take a white creme or another boost, whatever needed. So what we'll do is put the white creme down, take out the shield gen first. And again, this is why you see you don't give that good a range already. Sitsgun's struggling to get in range. Then we use Sitsgun. That didn't work, did it? Normally got a tank in front of him. But normally I would use a combination of Jetfire, Sitsgun, and Smokescreen. So using Jetfire to take that shield gen out, using Sitsgun to kill them, and then finishing off with Smokescreen if necessary. It's not very consistent using Sitsgun. You can't guarantee which target he'll hit, so you get the idea. But that's a good little combo for taking out. You can use Smokescreens to take out the build bots, but yeah, a good little combo for taking them out. So that's kind of my old school way of sort of taking that out. And then obviously we've got the more recent combos of using acid. So I started playing around with this and sort of using some acid bots, combining acid and fire. And I know the latest one is obviously using skids and using rust dust. That's what everyone's sort of trying to use right now to sort of take these out. Where is it? There we go. Cool. So what we could do is we could take a boost with us. Whoop, wrong one. Take a boost with us and then drop skids and rust dust. Make sure rust dust can get in range. And that should do it, I think, hopefully. Nah, it will do when I do it properly. Let's try again. I need to move these a bit closer, these resource buildings. They're being a pain. Can't get them in range. There we go. Hang on, was that 4-star, 5-star Rust Dust? I can't remember. Let's have a look. I've also been doing those tests with 4-stars and 5-stars. I can't remember who I've got in. Yeah. Oh no, 5-star. Yeah. Cool. Just check it's all maxed out first. Yep. Check the skids is all maxed out. Yep, cool. Yep. Yeah. Normally that'd kill them both, but hey, maybe I got something wrong. Maybe. It's going terrible. Let's try again. I'm determined to get this. May have to use 2 times acid. Let's have a go. Obviously, it'll go down. So obviously, try and get it the cheapest way possible, though. There we go. Fire. There we go. 2 acid and a fire. Job down. Big area. Gone. Very easily gone. Yeah? We'll try it again. We'll use the 4-star versions. So, 4-star version. Rust Dust. 4-star version. Where was it? That's it. Why are we even doing that? We've got this great new technique there. There we go. We will put this on. So 6310. Let's have a go. Let's try the same thing but with a 4-star version. I'll give him Billy Slayer, I think. Yeah. Has got a longer burn with the acid, but let's try and do the damage quicker. You can probably just keep him at level 10 and use acid, fire, then fire again, because it's got a shorter burn. Let's try it with the 4-star versions. I think, see the effect of that, I think we'll see good results. There we go. So even the 4-star version will wipe that out. So yeah, crazy good combo, but obviously gets expensive real quick. So there is other combos out there. I have been using Slingshot, and Slingshot is decent. Is not. It was better when he had the obviously combo of other things. The thing he adds is a bit cheap. It doesn't do as much damage, so you can pair Slingshot. So Slingshot, 6,000 damage to 1 target. So it was less of a cluster than Acid. So Slingshot is better at taking that one out. But with this current cluster, you sort of need damage in an area, which Slingshot doesn't add. He has 20% bonus, but doesn't add that. Christopher Hooper's put too many points in that combo. Believe Grimlock's put, this is why we need skid ability 11 time chain back to 10 seconds. I disagree. I think if you leave it at 10, ability 10, then yeah, it works fine. Leave it at 10 if you want the extended duration. And if you don't, then I'll go to ability 11. If you've got to go to ability 11, then you've got a point of asking the 8 so you can get it refunded. They should do maybe, but yeah. So let's go Slingshot Rust Dust. So Slingshot, we've got a boost in there. And we'll use Rust Dust. And it's not even reaching. You see they're not quite as effective in the area. In a smaller area, Slingshot is really good. So then I started looking around different things. I thought, well, I'll try to start looking at the different acid bots and different sort of combos we can use. And bear with me, I'm going somewhere with this. So I started thinking, you know, we've got skydive, we've got Terrormander. So let's try a skydive. Oh, in that area. So obviously skydive does a huge amount of damage. Absolutely crazy. So he'll take out that shield gen, doing 11k damage. And then his ability 11 is that the acid spreads doing 4k damage over 10 seconds. So 10 seconds of the shield gen getting no healing whatsoever. And then the area will get 10 seconds after that. So with this one, it's slightly different how you use it. Doesn't give the acid effect straight away. So you can use it on the shield gen. There we go. That shield gen's not going to get healed now. And then after that, then we can use another bot. So once that shield gen's down, we can use another bot on top. That's a bad example. I love how I've done all this testing today and gone through it and I've just forgotten everything I've even done. Let's try again. Let's try again. So put skydive on there. Put the boost on first. Let's get the health down a bit. And when the health is down low, then we can do some decent damage with swoop. Pretty good. Gets rid of it. For what? 10 ability points? So yeah, pretty decent. You know, skydive that ability 11, but you've got to take that shield gen out. Sort of take advantage of the fact that your Titan gives swoop extra damage in an area, you know, with the beam. So let's have a look at that. Your outposts and combiners deal 30% more ability damage. Is that even relevant? I don't know. We'll find out. But basically, using swoop in that area is absolutely crazy good. Like I said, with no healing. But you've got to take that healing out first with skydive. So, yeah, but I understand that, you know, having skydive, yeah, I think most people got a 4-star skydive. And it's leveling it. But not everyone will have a 5-star swoop. And I did try it with a 4-star. And didn't quite cut it. It didn't quite get it. So you need a 5-star swoop. And I get that having a 5-star swoop is going to be quite difficult. So I started looking at other combos. I thought, right, let's try and eliminate some maybe 5-star bots even. Let's try some different combos. So I did double dealer and swoop. I was like, I'm still using 5-star swoop. You know, double dealer. So to give you an idea, the fact double dealer is so good is he has 20 seconds of acid. So it stops the healing for 20 seconds. And that's what kills it. It's the self-repair. It's the Micronus. It's not the shield gen. So I was like, well, ideally, I'd like to take the shield gen out. And once the shield gen's gone, and the healing's at 20 seconds getting, you know, preventing healing, then I can take it out with pretty much anything, really. So, yeah. But then I thought, hang on a minute. Incendiary Missile deals 336 fire damage to enemies. So, 3,000-ish damage. 20% damage dealt to targets under acid. So, add 20% onto that. You're talking an extra 600. So, 4k damage. It'll do 4k damage under targets in acid. Additionally, sets a large area on fire, dealing another almost 2k damage. So, this guy will do 6k damage in an area. And when you add that onto his acid, that's 8k damage in an area. And then, when you add that on to another 4-star, who does 11k damage to the shield gen, and then does 4k damage in an area, you're talking 11k damage to the shield gen, then spreads out to acid, and then you're doing, with double dealer, 12k damage in an area. So let's go with Skydive. Let's go with Double Dealer. So I'll go do the same again. So it's Double Dealer, get some range though. So I'm going to use Skydive. We're going to use a boost just to help him get through that. Then we're going to use a Missile. Then we're going to use Acid in that area as well. And you can see there that crazy good combo of Skydive and Double Dealer just smashes that MDS Micronus combo with all the acid, and you can still even go in now. You can still take advantage of anything else in that area. So crazy good combo. I know some people will think, yeah, but it's hard getting Skydive to 6711 and getting Double Dealer to 6710. But you've also got to think, this guy hasn't got a G1 core yet. This guy hasn't got ability 11 yet. So, you know, this guy's pretty decent with his cost reduction. Maybe even borderline OP. But I get that people are not going to level these two bots from Oblivion, maybe. Especially with the increase coming on health and things like that to the shield gen and stuff. So maybe it can be hard. So I did some more tests and I thought, you know, the problem with these combos is, that I've said, is that when you do these combos, you don't want to take 2 or 3 bots to take out the shield, and Micronus, because you're limiting yourself elsewhere in the battle. You don't just want that to be the sole focus. So the least bots you could do it with, the better. So if you're doing it with Slingshot and Skids and another bot, whatever you want to choose, if you're taking 3 bots to combo, then you're taking 3 bots in that shuttle for that one reason. You want to limit it down to 2. Maybe even 1, but there's no bot in the game that can sort of take that combo down on its own, is there? Let's give it a go. Let's go Double Dealer. So I need to try and remember this combo now. So let's do that there. Let's put his acid on top. I think I got it mixed up. Let's try again. And that should just about do it. Almost. Almost. It is doable, Dad. I didn't test it. It is doable. But you can see there, just this guy's ability with a boost can take out that whole MDS shield gen sort of combo. And I can see that Grindtime's put in the chat that, yeah, it's all well and good trying to keep these guys alive until, you know, the MDS is behind the HQ. I know that's on my base, but looking at this guy's stats as a 4-star even, so don't forget, this guy can equip range combats. It isn't no Lynx that's going to go rushing up ahead. But looking at 17,000 health and 700 DPS, you know, you could say that very easily about the last Smokescreen. He's got a lot less health than Double Dealer has. You could say that about Swoop. He's got less health than Double Dealer has. Yes, he's got more. You could say that about Rustos, though. You know, 21,000 health, but it's for a scout that goes running up ahead. Doesn't have them sort of like, you know, the range that sort of Double Dealer does. You know, Double Dealer's range is absolutely crazy. So looking at the combats equipable, so you can see there, putting Nightstick on this guy. So looking at his range, you see, look, he's got decent range still. You know, it's not Skyline, it's going to go rushing up ahead and sort of start, you know, being in front of the pack and dying. It's still a gunner instead of that range. Maybe not a gunner, but, you know, a range combat. So he still stays well back. Actually, people in the chat asking about anti-air. Yeah, anti-air is going to be a killer no matter what airbot you sort of use. You can put some cores on him to help him. But again, you've got to remember, this bot doesn't have a G1. This bot doesn't have ability 11. And he's sort of hanging with some of the 5-stars in the game. You know, there's many a 5-star that cannot take out that shield gen and MDS. If you could tell me another bot that can solo take out that shield gen and MDS, you may be talking Skids as a 5-star. Now, Skids as a 5-star is so hard to get. He's brand new in the meta, brand new release. This guy's a 4-star and been in the game since a long time. So, for me, Double Dealer is going to be the crazy new bot people to want to chase and level, especially the lower to mid-level guys. If you're a mid-level to lower player and you don't have many 5-stars, but you can level a bot, and you want a bot to sort of help you with this combo of the MDS and the shield gen and the Micronus, I would honestly say this guy's the answer. And I'm so pleased that Space Ape sort of reduced his costs and make it more viable, because now 4-stars like this are, you know, crazy good. It gives people a reason to level them to the point where even I'm thinking to level him. You know, I do like a bit of a crusade on new bot. I was like with Slingshot. I really love Slingshot. I still like him to reduce that healing down to use Sit's gun or someone else to take out the shield gem, an MDS combo, and with other bots. But I still think that Double Deal's even better, and I'm so pleased he's actually back in the meta and decent. But I think this guy's crazy good to the point where I'm gonna start leveling this guy soon. Maybe in front of Skids. That good. Check it out, guys. Give it a go. Let me know how you feel about it, and let me know how it works for you. So yeah, let me know in the comments. So yeah, Penny Lancaster spot. What? So does all acid stop healing now? So if so, why do we need Slingshot? Because there's not many acid bots that do that in an area. So with Skydive, if you do damage to a target, you've got to destroy the target to get the acid effect in an area. Skids is obviously amazing. Does damage acid in an area, and Slingshot does acid in an area. So yeah, any bot that sort of stops healing. I'm even thinking Scattershot could be half decent. But I've tested him out, just don't do enough damage. But it helps you against a combo, so... Where's Scattershot? And again, I've got a soft spot for a soft spot for Scattershot. I've tested him out. The problem with Scattershot is there's nothing that increases his damage. Hopefully, ability 11 or something will increase that. But he can't put any Oko on him, anything like that, and that's his biggest downfall. So Scattershot. See there. Does great amount of acid in an area. But can't even take out the shield gen. So, and for a high cost, Scattershot's just sadly just too expensive. Scattershot also needs a cost increase if you want to sort of increase its combo. But looking at the fundamental problems, the good bots are the ones that have, you know, good timers on their acid. And I know we mentioned earlier about Skids. His ability 11 taking him down to 5 seconds was not ideal, but it burns quicker. But then keep ability 10, it works better if you want to combo him. If you want to do damage with him, ability 11 is probably better. So looking at Scattershot, let's give you an idea. So 7 plus 2. Now that's 4 plus 2. It might work, you know, for 10 ability points you can do 11k damage, but, you know, it is over 10 seconds. So I would go of him with 2 ability uses, see if that makes any difference. So let's try him with that. With the boost. It is a really cool effect, but just doesn't do enough. Look. Use 3 abilities now, and look at that. It's not doing anything. So, quite awful. 3 abilities. Took out a shield gen and a mortar. So, I think the area needs an increase. I think the cost needs a decrease. Needs plenty of things to make this guy a lot more relevant as he is at the minute. Okay, and then on to the last thing, which is the new box, ability 11, which is Topspin and Terrormander. So looking at Topspin. So Topspin, fires a bullet releasing clouds along its way, lowering enemy damage by 50%. So the defenses do 50% less damage to you in a line for 16 seconds, which is quite considerable. Deals 10,000 damage to the final target and 25% to surrounding enemies. And the cloud combos with Skylinks. And I have done a review of this, you can go check it out. I just think it's costly. I think the end damage is good. The combo with Skylinks is pretty awful. So basically, it's just basically a one-shot. That's all it is, but it's an expensive one-shot. The G1 is alright. Every 20 seconds you throw a cloud producing grenade, lowering enemy damage by 50% for 5 seconds. And increases your health. So yeah, that's not too bad. It's alright. And the ability 11. So enemies damage under clouds is lowered by an extra 10%. So the damage is down to 6%, and then obviously has a bit of an increase to almost 10k, and lasts for 17 seconds. Now for me, 1 million spark and 750,000 zen for an extra 10% just isn't worth it, and an extra 300 damage, an extra second, it just isn't worth it for me. And this is the problem that I said in sort of testing, that, you know, if you need ability 11 for a bot to make it good, then that's a problem. But then if ability 11 isn't a big increase, that's a problem. So you're sort of stuck in a sort of mid-range area of making it worthwhile, but not making it so it's too expensive for very little. You know, in this sense, it's too expensive for what you get. But if they'd have made it, you know, the bot only did 30% less damage, and then it gets 30% with this, that makes ability 11 worthwhile, but makes the bot a lot worse without it, and makes ability 11 essential. So I don't think you can sort of win either way. But for me, ability 11 for this, I would probably save your spark. If you're overflowing with spark and got plenty of it, yeah, go ahead. Why not? But I'm not a big fan of the bot, which is a shame, really. Again, I've reviewed it, won't go through it all again. I'm not a big fan of the bot as it is. And I don't think this ability 11 changes much. I don't think it makes him viable. I don't think it makes him that much better. I don't think it does much other than increase his final damage. So, you know, 10k to final target and 25%, 2,500 in a surrounding area is pretty decent. It's alright, but not at 6+3. You might use it once, and once you get to 9, that's when you're getting into the realm of being quite expensive for what you get. You know, if it was acid, I think that'd be a bit different. That would change my total perception. If this bot did 10k damage in acid and then 2.5k in an area, I would be saying this guy is crazy OP. But the big question is, with these dark clouds and stuff, will we start seeing a combo from dark clouds with electric, or with something else? You know, will smoke and electric go together? Will smoke and water go together? Are they going to combo this? If that's the case, then yeah, I can see that maybe going somewhere. You know, these new bots that they're bringing out, I'm sort of looking and going, I can't see value in them. So I imagine there's going to be value further down the line. But I've said in the past, it's quite hard to sort of make, you know, judgment on something that might happen and might not. It's hard to look at this bot and go, yeah, this could be good. But right now, as it is, I don't see much value really. But that was similar to Skids in a way. When Skids come out, I thought it was pretty good, but not amazing. Now I think it's very, very good. So maybe something will come in the works later this year, which will make this guy very relevant. But as it is, right now, I think is okay. Not great. So I'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's my verdict on it. Give it a try out as always. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like it? Do you not? I always pass these comments on to sort of Space Safe and talk to Dale and say, listen, this is what the guys are thinking, and pass your comments on. So if you like this, then put it in the comments. If you don't, tell me why. Again, put it in the comments, and I will pass your feedback on. But yeah. Matt Polar just used combo of Sea Spray and North for a Sharknado. Oh, that should so be a thing, shouldn't it? It should so be a thing. Sharks and water increase damage. I use my war team, Stay Puff says. I like it. Bots go through it, slow down, and slides as well. What do you mean slides? What do you mean by slides? Christopher Hooper, maybe with Warpath. It doesn't combo with Warpath, so anything on the way brings a cloud, but the cloud just slows damage, doesn't increase damage. So even if you combine it with Warpath, it won't do anything. Sadly, it won't increase the damage that Warpath does. So no. Cool. But yeah, but that is it for this week, guys. So yeah, quite a long stream this week. Oh, spiders. Stay Puff just put. Right, okay. It slows spiders down. Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, that's it for this week. So a big shout out, big thank you to everyone for joining me and joining the stream. Again, we're getting back to Monday streams eventually. Again, I'm just training someone at the minute. Once they're trained up, then get back to doing Mondays again. But yes, plenty of content coming soon. I'm talking with Tex and the other content creators and Grind Time about doing the unpopular opinions, more of those. So that's going to be quite exciting to do that. And we're trying to create some new content for you guys. A few people have been requesting other things that I'll try and look into. But we've got the top 10 things coming as well. But again, if you want to be a member, consider being a platinum member and be in with a shout of a $75 gift card. That would be amazing for the End of Saga event. But only platinum members are entered into that draw. If you want to be a platinum member, go onto my main page, click on join, and consider being a platinum member there. But thanks to everyone for joining. Big shout out to members as always, whether they're gold, platinum, whatever, basic. Big shout out to them, and big shout out to everyone for joining the stream. Thanks for joining, guys, and we'll see you next Thursday. And thanks for watching, and peace out, guys.